Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of The Crown of Autumn. We last left our travelers in an exalted crypt where seemingly a cabal of ancient sorcerers, at least one of them a sorceress of some renowned and an ancient offshoot, possibly of Gunar's people, unconfirmed as of yet, uh, was interred here, and Thurban had recovered and or captured uh, the ancient robes of this cabal that once uh, belonged to this sorceress queen and a great many other sorcerers, wizards, necromancers, demons, and the such like. Therein, having suffered the initial uh, drawbacks of the curse of these many eons, the darkness had pressed in upon Thurban, and he was, at least for now, able to, with his mysticism and his willpower, push back the darkness that was encroaching on him. And he is currently uh, beginning to understand the power that these robes have within them, even being a almost a silken, almost weightless garment about him. It resembles inky silk, not like a vibrant oil slick, if you will, but uh, something that flows, and he almost disappears in the absence of light there, as the two of you begin to gather yourselves after this harrowing sorceress ordeal. Gunnar, would you describe your character as you guys gather yourselves to leave? You're muted. Ah!
First time for the night. Pinar is a 21-year-old Ithnakai barbarian. He's 6'6" and is massively built. Um, very much a solid fighter. He carries a war sword at his side, along with other apparatus of fighting, and several large packs and other types of baggage from our adventures and our supplies on his back. He is currently once again in awe of everything he's seen around him that took place within the last few minutes with the robe, seeing the spirits manifest, and once again, not really sure what his place is among this, but sensing that he's not going to be molested by these spirits. He relaxes a little bit and manages to keep his hand off of the hilt of his greatsword.
I am sorry. I completely forgot that I was going to make myself a cocktail this evening. Thurban, take us away, please, when I'm not even here.
Yeah, right.
Golly, I swear, narrator. Fuck.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Some people these days.
Can't have nice things.
No, we can't.
Thurban is a Dawn Fairfolk. Um, though he is unusual in the fact that he does not have horns right now. He actually had them. He assumes they fell out when he came back from the dead, which seems now like an entire other lifetime ago, even though it hasn't been quite that long. Um, right now, not much can be seen of him physically, as these robes he has on are, I would assume, pretty much shoulder the floor. Um, and he one thing you can tell though is his fingers have an inkiness to them. Probably almost matches the robes, honestly. Um, they're not quite dripping or anything, but they just look like if you dipped your hands in black ink over and over again and let it dry. Um, for those that don't know, that is due to the corruption that he endured before his feverish dreams the last couple nights. But at the moment, it doesn't really seem to be affecting him. Gunnar would have noticed when he first woke up that he was kind of really down by that fact. But now, between finding the room of reverence and meditation, and then finding these robes, it's kind of picked up his spirits a little bit. Um, in the fact of he knows he needs power to beat power, so it's kind of putting him up step higher than what he was before they walked into this thing. Um, but yes, he has the robes on and staff in hand and ready to take on what he can take on.
With that, you stand in this crypt, bathed in a pale blue witch fire light. You mount the stairway, ascending from the darkness here up. You find yourselves. You hang that left back into the meditation chamber, past the two statues. Allegedly, they are the duality of Carnage, because apparently she is a duality. Uh, Unconfirmed. Allegedly, she has another aspect that has been forgotten of her. Possibly uh, a power of uh, benignness, the opposite of carnage, a tranquil benignness there, something or other. What, but we do not know. Uh, you can pass through this meditation chamber if you wish, unless there is something that you wish to do or linger herein. Um,
So, since you've been given this gift from these people who were buried here or created this, are you gonna take the ring too?
Oh, I gave her some thought. I did give her some thought. uh
I'm not there. You guys do whatever the hell you want.
no, right. Shut up, narrator. You're not there.
I'm fucking help you.
Who
Yeah,
said
right.
that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right.
No, he w- he will actually go. Um, actually, fuck. He actually will go up to the one that is the unknown aspect.
That's the one with the ring at
Yeah,
the
with
foot
yeah,
of the
with the ring
statue.
in it. Um, and he'll actually bow his head and basically like if he was to pray again. Um, and it'd really just be more of a, you know, if you are who I believe you to be, I am going to try to bring light to this if you wish it, because I feel that if it's two sides of the same coin, one side should not be forgotten. This is all in his head. He's not saying this out loud. Um, And fuck, what was I gonna say? Um, and he basically just he asked he's gonna ask that he hopes that she approves and that she forgives him at the same time.
Here we go.
Shut up, you don't know the whole thing yet. Um, so he is actually going to take uh one of the few pouches he had left because he had a couple strapped on his waist from before. Um, he's actually going to scoop up the ring in the pouch without touching it, if that makes sense.
Like a poop
You're
bag.
basically gonna scoop
Yeah.
it,
Or he would like
or
literally like turn the pouch inside out,
grab it.
put his grab
Ah,
it, and then pull the pouch back again,
all right.
and then he'll close the pouch.
Okay. Hmm, fair
And then
enough.
he'll kind of uncharacteristically of him, he'll kind of military 180, look at the statue of the carnage that he knows, bow his head, ask for forgiveness, and ask for guidance to get the fuck out of here. And with that, he's
Good.
going to turn to Gunnar and be like, all right.
It is at this moment in time you hear the grinding of stones somewhere nearby, which is the only sound outside of your own shuffling and breathing you've heard probably for days, Gunnar,
Right.
for days, which is probably deafening and horrifying.
More than likely. Did that sound like it was upstairs or downstairs?
It actually sounds like it's in the next room.
Oh,
The room that we're coming from or the room that we're going to?
well, it's all one loop anyway.
Well,
Uh,
in this room, it like looped over to another room, but there's still stairs that ascend, which is how we came down to this room.
Descend from where you guys are currently. Uh, Essentially, excuse me, from this door, or say from this room, you leave this room, go through that hallway, which basically in this place, in this, if I orient you guys properly, you leave this room, you take the hallway and go north, and then you take a right at the end of that hallway. You're in another room. On the other side of that room is the hallway that goes to the stairway that went down into the crypt you just left. So you're going to make a circle regardless. And I'm
There
talking about,
is, but there is a way that we came into this room that we.
yeah, you got to walk by that doorway in the hallway going north, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of, without actually showing it to you and kind of spoiling the whole fun of it. Uh, yeah, you leave the room, you go past that door that actually got you into this section of the dungeon to go into that hall that room just north of the meditation chamber. Which I shouldn't say north because you guys are underground and I'm trying to keep the mystique of disorientation.
Right. Well, player wise, we know North. Character wise, neither one of us is a ranger, so we don't fucking know.
Right. Suspend your disbelief for me, please.
Right. All right. So go back in the other room, I'm guessing.
Okay. You go into that room, which, as I described previously, it looks like a storage room that's probably housed at the time um, implements for various meditation rituals and such like. There are cushions, seats. in a small uh in a small like cubby area, cabinets that are currently open and are still now empty. Um, this place has a faint smell of earth. Uh, there are various lab and or medical uh, accoutrements here from a previous age that could possibly have been an apothecary's workshop, a mystic's uh, processing room, various things that have kind of like expired from the previous age here. And there is an archway with an undead monstrosity standing before the archway. His back is currently to you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yes.
Just going to kind of like side eye Gunnar here.
Gunnar is going to loosen the war sword in the scabbard, but not completely withdraw it yet.
Okay. Is there a click as the sword disengages from the scabbard? Or is his
Ah,
scabbard lined with cotton?
Ooh.
oh, I.
Let me ask you, how executive is Gunnar's gear? Because only like a well-to-do assassin would think of that sort of thing.
Yeah, it'd probably be more, utilitarian than.
It's probably a click. Uh, okay. Yeah, no, this thing looks over its shoulder at you. Uh, his eyes glow with a very menacing, like a pale blue, like a distant blue, like think of the kind of glow that like if you're holding a candle, uh, but you're at the other end of a football field, it's a tiny, very distant pinprick of light, but he's like 15 feet away from you, and that's like the pinprick of light in his eyes. Now the thing is looking at you, which I'm going to need a pair of self-control tests because that is a fear effect there. Keep in mind your saving throws are single die.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, we were busy discussing the game earlier. I didn't get my dice out.
God damn it.
You're discussing what, Terry? Sorry.
We were talking earlier, and I never got my dice ready. Mike, did you roll
Man.
already?
Yep. I got a 16.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
And what's the attribute that it's bonus from?
Occult.
Occult. Self-control is occult based.
I got 8 total.
Okay. Uh, so Gunnar doesn't exactly wet himself, but your your hairs of your body stand on end. Uh, Thurbon is seemingly unimpressed, seemingly very much unimpressed. And no, this undead thing um looks at you over his shoulder. Its shoulder, his shoulder, we don't quite know. And in the gloom there, uh uh like Thurbon, you're actually make me a you have shit, hang on here. You have esoteric knowledge, don't you, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
God, I fucking hope you do.
That shit's almost maxed out.
I would like to hope so. Shit. Roll it for me, my friend. Thank you, please.
Esoteric. Okay.
Esoteric knowledge. Yes.
Oh, there's an
Yes.
8. Oh, there's another 8. Will you
Fuck.
fucking stop?
No, I need you to pass this, please.
Well, that's a 36.
God damn.
Two 8s,
Shit.
a 7, and a 3 on the dice itself, and I get 6 from occult and 4 from esoteric knowledge.
Hot damn.
He's gonna
And
he's gonna be like, "Hi, Larry. How's your mom?"
right? You don't actually I shouldn't say that. Do you know this corpse? I'm not sure if you know this corpse. Uh the oh, hang on. Just so I know that I want to
There, it's
make
like,
sure.
fuck. I gotta backtrack for a second.
Nope. I'm not backtracking at all. I'm actually checking your bonuses to make sure that I give you this next bit accurately.
Ah,
Okay. I thought your robes gave you a bonus. The robes of the maddened sage, as it were. Uh, but they don't give you a bonus to esoteric knowledge.
they
You
just give
think
me
they
a.
would
They just.
because
Well, they give me a +4 occult, which gave me an
that's a
additional +2 to everything occult based anyway. So, in a
that
way, it
yeah,
did.
that's a general bonus, not a specific bonus.
Right.
Uh so um as this thing looks over its shoulder at you, uh you uh distantly you remember part of that visage. Uh like uh uh, add several cycles to a fey face,
Mm-hmm.
but half melt it off. And like uh those of you who are familiar with I think it's DC Comics, Jonah Hex, the he's fucking cowboy. I think he's DC. He's got half his face melted off, and I can't fucking
Yeah.
remember because haven't read Jonah Hex since it's the 90s. But he's got like that. Um this undead horror's hood is down, but you can tell, however, corpse that he is, uh he wears a shawl that would be like the black poncho slash shawl that they use as a burial shroud. Most Fey communities bury their dead like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this last thing smacks you in the face. Uh, you seem to remember a fairy that was burned at the stake for witchcraft in a village that you were passing through in a previous lifetime that you briefly stood vigil over while this thing was being burned at the stake. And this Fae just looks at you two over its shoulder, says nothing, and goes down the stairway. And keep in mind, when you guys passed through this room before, that archway was not here when you used this hallway previously. And he just walks down like a fucking revenant into the darkness. Didn't give a fuck about you guys.
Well then.
What was that?
Well, it was undead.
You're not quite sure if that was an apparition just now or an actual corpse walking.
So you saw it too, right?
Yes, I certainly did.
All right, so it's not a figment of my imagination.
Just
All
Seemed
the
it
way
familiar
down
moved
though.
to
so gracefully and so fucking silently that, it still feels like an illusion.
He looked familiar though. No. Why would kind of see Traban kind of like go through like the mental like the pegboard with like all the different like conspiracy theory pins. You kind of see you kind of see him go like, no, why would he be down here? He was way out. No, maybe, maybe
you. You knew him?
if it's who I think it is, or at least looks like it is, then I met him at his death, which I know sounds weird, but stay with me. Um, Narrator,
Mm.
I'm assuming there's no other doors that opens. This is the one that got opened by that grinding sound we heard.
Yeah.
We would assume.
It looks like a section of wall, stone wall that looks as if it was supposed to just be there, the wall, just like pushed and then slid like pocket door
Hmm.
style, being hidden by a lip in the wall just within the darkness here. By the way, the with the adumbration currently not menacing you, and you're not in the Witchfire crypt uh, anymore. The light from the lamp that Gunnar is holding slowly comes back and illuminates the area for you.
With that creature, you mentioned you knew him at his death. Were you well met?
I met him literally as he was being put to the stake. I don't know if you noticed, but the thing we saw, part of its face looked like it was melted or it was burned. If it's the same thing. And then Thurbano kind of see the lamp pop back out and just be like, uh-huh. This is the doorway that opened. Do we I guess we go down. Unless you have any argument there, Gunnar.
I was going to ask you. The creature obviously saw us and didn't attack. I, with your story, I'm not sure if that means that we're supposed to follow or if he just cared not about us.
Could very well be either way, but we don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
Unless you want to dig through a snowdrift. I don't want to.
Oh, this is true. Do you want me to go first, or does it make sense for you to commune with this thing?
Yeah, I should probably go first. You want me to take hold of the lamp?
That's up to you. I don't know if you need your arms free for anything. I'm more than happy to hold the lamp. Besides, I'm bigger than you. I can hold
Hold
it
it
up.
up higher. Yeah, let's do that then. So yeah, he'll carefully, well, not carefully, but he'll softly make his way through the archway and I guess down those stairs as well. He's assuming they go down.
Are you moving stealthily? Like we should both be.
Not stealth, but just deliberate walking, I would call it.
Okay.
Like you're meant to be here.
Like, well, it's that, but it's also I'm not rushing down the stairs and gonna run, face first into this thing. It's kind of just go down the stairs with purpose and with steadiness to it, so I can like if I see something, I have a couple seconds to react to it, type of thing. He's not being reckless, but he doesn't have
Damn.
stealth.
I, on the other hand, could pick you up, carry you, and still be stealthily.
Yeah.
Right. So, you descend this stairway, which seemed like it takes you a while. Uh, you almost trip down the stairs twice. Um, it gets real steep at one section and then seems to level out. There is a comfortable landing that you can actually catch your breath at, thankfully. And you descend
Wait
farther.
a sec, narrator. On the landing, is it pretty dusty when we get to the landing?
Yeah, you could say it's pretty dusty, yeah.
I don't necessarily have tracking, but if we hold the light up, could we at least see if the dust has been disturbed, like with footprints recently?
Uh, yes. Yes, you can.
Okay. You see this
The
too?
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing things. That tells us we're not seeing things. Uh,
At least not yet.
no, no, not yet. Well, it's dark down here. You can't see a damn thing. Uh, the your path continues, and the stairway bottoms out into a large, pillared, chamber with a vaulted ceiling. If you hold your lamp up, uh, the ceiling goes up into darkness. Uh, about maybe like 30 feet from the floor, uh, cut stone becomes just cave gallery.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, there is a faint uh breeze of actual fresh air here that kind of wafts down from somewhere up there, up in the darkness. We don't know. Uh, like elementary geology, would tell us there's probably a cave opening several hundred feet up there somewhere. Um, you smell, let's see. I'm gonna describe the smell and excuse me, the fragrance as like alpine treetops and pine tar. Uh, it's kind of a chilly, I don't know, like an icy uh crispness there. It actually gets tad bit cold in this room at times when a gust of wind comes down at the wrong angle. Uh, you pass a pair of pillars, uh and you see again this undead adumbration standing in the center of the room, looking to the opposite side of the room, which uh possibly at one point was a longer like a very wide hallway. This part of this gallery was probably maybe twice or thrice as long, but that side of the room is crumbled in and just kind of boulders and rubble. Uh, Something happened here that has sealed off that stairway, and this undead thing, uh, clad in a traveling cloak, what looks like a coat of mail armor, uh, trousers, tall, say tall closed-toe sandals, and various other accoutrements of a traveler. The thing that stands out to you the most is the ornateness of the war sword that dangles, excuse me, that is belted to its hip. Uh, it having various features of Fey iconography and a blade made of orichalcum uh, that glitters even seemingly in the low lightness of your lamp here. Uh, the undead horror doesn't pay you much mind here, and just looks down at this rubble sealing off the other end of this passageway. How do you wish to proceed?
What's it doing?
Looking.
Do you get the feeling that it was trying to go that way, but it's blocked?
Possibly. I'm guessing that's where more of. I mean, I'm guessing that's where more of the room was. So, and Turbano, he'll kind of take a second to like look at the whole room, see how big it is, and then just be like, if that thing was open, this thing would be huge. Well, and he's kind of like side eyeing slash stage whispering all this to Gennard because he doesn't want to get too loud. But it's like, so do we try to go around this thing and go about our own business?
You have a way to talk to it? Would your stick help?
I don't know. I've been picking up smatterings, but I don't think I have enough to conversate. Because I'm assuming narrator has not been long enough for the bond to have picked up hag speech proper. Yes.
No, you don't understand hag speech.
Okay.
Uh, in the gloom here, uh, the the undead, your as unofficial erstwhile companion here, he lifts a skeletal hand and with his index finger actually traces a rune in the air, leaving a almost like a blue fire sparkler type effect in the air, drawing a rune in the air, and he rasps something uh in a language that kind of hurts your ears to hear, and a blue lantern, uh kind of like a will-o'-the-wisp, if you will, shimmers into view there, but it's in the shape of a skull, uh that reveals several other apparitions in the room with you. And there's like 40 of these spirits in this room. You guys are surrounded. Uh and the undead starts conversing with these spirits. Uh, uh, I need Saran, make me another occult knowledge test, please. Excuse me, esoteric knowledge.
Esoteric knowledge.
You know what I mean? An occult skill test that lets you know shit.
Right?
Oh shit.
Let me understand, God damn it.
That's going to be 20.
No, that is clearly very clearly a the spirit lantern necromancy spell that reveals spirits present spirits or spiritual entities not seen by the naked eye. And he just starts talking to these things. And you guys are witnessing this.
What do the spirits look like?
Uh, horrible things. Uh, they they are very much beings resembling the chopped up remains of a battle. Uh, there is a floating head with a tongue that is much too long, a woman's head. Uh, the macabre parade of disembodied spirits, disemboweled bodies, spectrally, these adumbrations. Your mind wants to just not process these things, but you're like, oh no.
There they are.
Um,
Yeah.
it's very much the scene from the Belgariad where they go to Marigor, but they're not they're not like
There's,
trying to like eat you, but the necromancer is there talking to the things.
and there's no rivers of gold.
Yeah, and there's no rivers of gold. There's no fucking point to go to Marigor. But the gold anyway.
Yeah.
No
So
spoilers, excuse me.
Thanks.
sorry, Terry.
And everyone else who hasn't read the Belgariad.
Fucking read it if you haven't. God damn it.
It's good for you.
All right. So yeah. Thurban's just gonna like give him a little bit of a berth while he's talking to the spirits.
Mhm.
It's a conversation he can't understand, and obviously he is not privy to.
And he is now clearly a necromancer of some
Mhm.
skill.
Yeah, that's not prison, thank you. So now he like in the back of his mind, he's like, all right, so apparently he was actually guilty of said crime, at least a little bit. All right, yeah, yeah, he's still kind of flabbergasted to seeing a necromancer kind of doing its thing.
Not many people get to see one in action
I know, right? Yeah,
and not be immediately killed.
yeah, yeah, that's the big part. Um, yeah, so he's kind of transfixed. For it's not very so much that he's transfixed, but he's gonna like look around the room for like another passageway. But it's like I'm gonna look over here and I'm gonna glance back at what he's doing. I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna kind of look back at what he's doing because it's fucking fascinating.
Mhm.
I don't understand it, but it's fucking fascinating.
Are you wandering at all?
He would, in the fact of he would basically walk around where the necromancer and the spirits are. So he like if for some reason one of them look at him, he's obviously not trying to encroach on where they are.
Uh, the you round a pillar there and you see the apparition of uh an undead woman, and her tongue is hanging out of her mouth, and she says to Gunnar in a heavily accented dialect that of the Ithnakai language that's not used anymore, and she says, "Give us a kiss." And you go, oh, and her
Yeah.
tongue is too long.
I mean, some people pay extra for that, but
He backs the fuck up. Uh, Still not drawing his weapon because I
Oh,
there's no until I see a threat, I'm not doing anything that's gonna be like
what
there's a
the
lot of them all around. But I don't need to be face to face with one either. I'll just back the fuck up.
no, I'm back up and kind of like try and go around her. Fuck. Like maybe if your tongue wasn't that long and you were alive, maybe, but not now.
I think really it's just the fact that she's not alive. I mean, the extra long tongue might have a purpose. We're just saying.
How do you get any woman's attention? Lick your eyebrow. No, uh, yeah, yeah, no, Gunnar, you gonna get around her, and she kind of like just follows you, like a little like disappointed and crazy eyes. Uh, and you hear the necromancer in the room rasp something, uh, and like she snaps to attention, like back to him, and then like floats back in his direction. You both kind of just follow that, you give each other a look. Did that just fucking happen right now? Yeah, it totally fucking did. And you don't say anything. That's what your eyes say. Uh,
Hmm.
but you guys navigate this chamber around all of the apparitions that are just kind of stink eyeing you. Uh, it's not enough for you to lose your sanity, but if you stayed here a little too long, you might. Uh, and
But especially knowing that they can see us and that they're reacting to us, it's
Hmm.
like this isn't just a projection going on. This is something that they are aware of us. So
you kind of get the impression that the effect of that spirit lantern spell that he cast reveals their presence to you, or to those in the realm of the living, and they've known about you this whole time that you're down here, and you just now see them. So it
Hmm.
just ramps the creepy factor of like, oh,
You've probably been
we
having
were.
that lady with the tongue chasing after you for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, ectoplasmic drool on the floor as she just pervs out over your very nicely triangular back. Uh,
Sorry,
now
Gunnar,
what?
that wasn't Morningwood. My bad.
Oh, why is there a dark ooze on my loincloth? And that wasn't me. Uh,
she
Okay.
slimed me.
Didn't realize this was
yes,
Ghostbusters now. Oh, fuck.
yum. But no, you, Serban, you're treated also to the leering stares of the incorporeal undead, and this room is filled with a choir of moaning from disembodied spirits that float into your ears beyond what impossible gulfs that separate the two realms, the living and the dead, from each other. And you find on the opposite end of the room uh, a doorway, an actual fucking door with a handle and everything. Uh, hardwood, hardwood door, held together with aged and corroded bronze studs. Uh, Clearly, the kind that you would assume to be on like the front door of like a gatehouse, or like a bulkhead, a militaristic bulkhead of some kind. Um, but the necromancer is there conversing with the spirits, and uh he it, whatever, you assume it's a masculine entity, uh, terminates the interview that he is having with excuse me, the spirits of this place, and uh dispels his lantern, and the area, which was bathed in blue light, goes out. And you guys are now in the darkness, in a room full of spirits that you know are there, that you cannot now see, standing in front of a door that you don't know is locked or not.
Did our lamp come back out, or does she go back into hiding?
Uh, your yeah, the lamp is quite dim at this point.
I'm gonna use what light we have to move carefully to the door.
Okay. Uh yes, as I described previously, this looks like a fortified archway.
Well, should we try the door?
No other way, no other place to go, and I don't think it's the last we've seen of it, him.
I would just assume we exit as quick as possible.
Sounds like a good idea.
Gunnar will attempt the door handle.
The door is warped so badly that it presses against the stone and creaks obnoxiously when you try to force the door. It's not locked in any way, but it sounds awful down here and it echoes.
Hey everybody, we're using the door.
Yeah.
Crunch,
If they
crunch.
didn't know we were here before,
Uh-huh.
son of a bitch.
All right. I'll at least get it wide enough open where I could enter, but then before entering, actually use the dimness of the light to kind of look in.
At the opposite end of this corridor, you see a well.
Tribon, you seem a little unsure of the well.
I'm unsure of everything nowadays.
Doesn't like any wells. Giant groupers or salamanders.
Or freaking ooze monsters that chase you down hallways in the bat cave.
Hey, man, you don't like anything that I throw at you guys.
I don't know what you I love what you throw at us. I can just be an asshole
I
about it.
can never please you. Everything sucks, I swear. Ah, all right, fine.
I see how you feel. I see how you feel.
Oh,
No,
yeah, yeah.
so that the only thing down this corridor that we can see at the
Yeah,
moment?
no immediate threats is basically what I'm looking for. Firstly,
Well, there is a Japanese woman crawling out of this well. I mean,
I knew there was a catch.
no, I'm kidding. There's Sadako is not in this well. God damn it.
No, but it's another banshee knowing our luck.
Ah, all right. No, no.
hey
I
man,
did.
Hey, I mean,
They're good kissers.
water and water and Gunnar has been excellent results so far, right?
You're right. Uh,
No,
no, there's actually a rather frigid uh breeze coming from this hallway, assuming the the well or somewhere down here has a an access to uh the outside, the mountain above, we don't know.
Are there any other obvious exits in this room,
Uh,
hallway?
it looks like, from your perspective, it looks like there might be an archway to the left there, but you can't really see much there. The light kind of pools at in this well room here.
Since leaving the darkened room, did the lamp come out more, or is she still hiding?
I don't know the she that you're talking about
Well,
is,
the
but
lamp. Does it brighten or does it stay where it was?
uh,
It,
it's
he,
it's
she.
it is illuminating at the intensity of a candle right now.
If I step farther into the room, does it get brighter?
Ah,
Away from the darkness.
sure, sure, yeah. You take a step into that archway, you are beyond the jarring door right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it seems a little brighter.
All right, let's go take a look at that well.
Are we going to leave the door ajar or shut it?
Sure, make more noise.
Yeah. I honestly,
I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry.
I mean, the necromancer saw us go through here, so if he really wanted to follow us, he could have already. It's not going to
Okay.
bug the spirits. And I get the feeling if anything else is in here, we're probably going to face it head on, not from behind. So probably want to leave it open in case we need to go back through there real quick.
Okay. Let's move farther into the well room and take a look.
You move into the well room, and there is a chain that is kind of suspended from somewhere above. There is no wall or uh, railing in this well room. It is just a pit in the ground. Uh, and from somewhere above, there is a heavy chain that is suspended from the shaft. Actually, is kind of cut into the ceiling that kind of matches up with with the hole in the ground, and there are a few buckets here that look empty currently, and a chain that goes from the ceiling, the hole in the ceiling, to some gallery above. So you can assume that this well possibly services two different tiers. I mean, that maybe a uh a chamber beneath this chamber, and then possibly a chamber above, uh, which kind of simulates in your mind that this shaft, this well, uh, probably ascends and descends for considerable distance.
All right. What about the archway now that we're further into the room? The archway on the left.
Uh, the archway on the left. Kind of fades off into the darkness, and every 15 feet there is a niche on both sides, seeming with a stone coffin or a corpse entombed in each of these niches, uh, similar in fashion to the niche that Thraban was entombed in Ghost Owl's tomb. Large enough for a person to be mummified and placed in this shelf. Well, every 15 feet, there is one of those, seemingly.
I'm going to motion at Thurman, and I'm just going to be like completely hold my breath, listening with all my senses to hear any sound of movement or presence. I have an outstanding awareness.
Roll it.
17.
Yeah, yeah,
You
go.
hear the faint howl of the wind in pine trees somewhere above you, coming down that shaft.
Do you hear that? That's the outside.
And the undead horror is standing behind you. Sorry, the what now?
We went from Ghostbusters to Abbott and Costello. God damn.
Woo!
Yeah. No, he just stands there in the gloom with his like blue glowing eyes, just watching the two of you go about your work. Not seemingly not accosting you in any way, but like there.
Gunnar is going to turn and, so that he's facing it and has kind of his back um, towards a wall.
Okay.
Still not drawing a weapon.
No, is it going to? Urban, he'll turn and look at this thing, and in Feywise, uh, he'll ask him, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
He responds also in Feywise with a strange foreign accent. It is somewhere in the gallery beneath us. Which sounds like someone walking through dead leaves in a graveyard, as well as some essence of autumn in his voice. His voice sounds dusty and archaic, but you still understand what he says when he speaks to you.
I'm guessing the only way through was the part that was blocked off. Because he
No,
and then he'll look down the well. It's like, I don't want to swim through that.
he simply says no. There are other passages to the floor beneath us.
Well, we're just trying to find our way out. And as he says that, he kind of like he's not going to completely like take his eyes off of the thing, but he kind of like side eyes him as he starts walking down the hallway where the niches are lined up.
Do you just start walking down that hallway?
That's the only other avenue to go. I
What
think
did
it
he
was.
say?
It's trying to find something in the gallery downward. There's supposed to be other ways to get to it.
What's he looking for?
I didn't go that far. I feel like that might not be my business.
The necromancer just follows the two of you down the hallway.
Oh. Oh,
At a respectful distance, of course. Technically, you guys are leading.
right. Uh,
He maybe walks with an undead fluidity, uh, about 10 feet behind you.
right.
And silent as a shadow.
About the only thing that, only sound that he makes is the, his long cloak that, kind of stirs up some of the grit and the dust, as well as, his, closed toe knee-high sandals kind of crushes some of the gravel underneath, which is a bit unsettling because he's kind of there and kind of not there at the same time, but your eyes, like bodily eyes, see him, but he makes sound that is like muffled to your, again, your bodily ears. You kind of catch yourself, keep trying to look back and like, oh, am I actually seeing that? Is that actually the source, or am I dreaming, or is that actually an apparition? I don't
Right.
know. Maybe a little bit of both.
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah. Yeah, I just walked down this hallway looking for another either branch or doorway or something that tells us out or something. Um, yeah, because he wouldn't, even if there is something in the niche, he's not going to touch any of the coffins. He's had enough of that right now. He doesn't want to be put back into one either, so he's not going to do that. Uh, are one thing I will ask: are the coffins down here pretty plain, or are they kind of decorated like the ones higher were?
No, they're pretty plain.
Once we get to the niche area where they're at, Gunnar will scuttle past them as fast as he can, just to get past that area, holding the light up.
This hallway with the wall niches forks once. You can either go right or you go left, but the two hallways seem pretty identical.
Well, Gennard's the one scuttling past, so which way is he going to go?
To the right.
Go down the right-hand corridor. The necromancer goes left,
Eh,
and you, uh, the three of you, rejoin each other when these two hallways meet again. Surprise, surprise. Oh. Uh, and he just kind of looks at the two of you with a momentary pause, and he just continues on. And now he's leading you. Uh, takes you from a uh, seemingly unremarkable cave, not of cut stone, but natural rock, that goes into a tiled floor. A gallery here with 8 sarcophagi, 4 on each side. Uh, highly ornate coffins here, depicting various different iconographies, animal totems, spirit totems, and the like. Uh, looking beyond this place, there is uh, a tea section here. To the right is bathed in bright blue, pale blue witch fire. Uh, and you kind of peek around that corner there because it kind of like slowly, like it gently curves around. Uh, there is a rostrum uh, with a with a plinth up top that has uh, something ornately silver upon the plinth. And that's on the right-hand side of this T. On the left-hand side, I'm not going to make you roll for it, but you don't want to go down there. It is a dark, uh, kind of a fetidly sickening, sinking feeling that you get from looking down the left-hand side of this corridor. You don't be down there. I'm
Is
gonna say
that
you don't.
is that the same feeling I get that's like the thing surrounding the area every time I try to reach out with something?
Probably.
It's like that same like kind of like energy vibe it gives off.
Oh, very much so.
Like I don't want to. Yeah, no, we're not doing
In
It,
which way does a necromancer turn?
that. Down that
Or
hallway.
we,
he's actually standing at the T section with you as you guys are kind of forced to travel together right now because there's not really much else where to go.
Um, out of curiosity, if I look down where the blue witchfire area is,
Hmm.
do I see more of the cabal spirits?
Nope.
No. Okay.
They've not accosted you since you put the robes on.
Okay.
You kind of get the feeling that they're just gonna leave you alone. You're kind of part of their number now, so
Right.
uh, and sages as a breed, if you will, are kind of sort of solitary.
Hmm.
If
Okay.
unless you summon one, they're not going to bother you.
Right. Uh, Thurban will make a comment when they come down into this area and he sees the 8 sarcophagi done off in pairs. And it will be like basically what is up with them and being buried together. Like he knows why, but it's just like offhandedly out loud. Like really more with the paired sarcophagi.
The necromancer just replies, "These are the guardians of this tomb." Like it is completely fucking natural. Like,
Yeah,
why
right.
would you ask a stupid question?
Yeah, right.
If he had eyes in his undead head, he would roll them at you.
Right. They probably fall out. Whereas like when he says that, it's like, well, he'll say that, and then Thurban will look back over at the witchfire again. Is there another solitary tomb behind the plinth, like there was in the one above?
Who are you asking?
No, I'm asking the narrator.
You don't see it. You don't see it. You haven't actually gone into that room yet.
Okay. Uh, Thurban's gonna go into that room then.
Okay.
I'll I'll follow with the light.
So
Okay.
light promptly goes out. Probably. Knowing our luck, maybe.
Well, it's well lit. Why does there need to be another torch? There are 8 pillars. Uh, four on each side of the room. Each of these pillars is stylized with raised reliefs. Uh, Several different battles here. Each pillar seems to be a depiction of a battle, conquest, a rape, something. Uh, and uh, Specifically, Gunnar, you are kind of like emboldened by just these depictions of combat. Uh, you don't know these people who built this complex, but uh, skill recognizes skill. Clearly, this is a warrior people. You possibly are filled with a sense of pride, like, oh well, there were possibly fighters buried here, and I probably would have loved to cross swords with them at some point. You know, that's uh, game recognizes game, if you will.
Mhm, mhm.
And up on this plinth is actually a pair of greaves, uh, uh, a pair of what seems to be Greaves' leg armor of hammered fey iron that seems to be blackened and tarnished from the previous age. Uh, kind of glitters in the pale blue light there. Um, they are sculpted in kind of like the leg muscles, making it kind of like look like she's like musculatata, the breastplate that makes it look like amazing pecs and abs, but the greaves are e- like good looking like thigh. She's not thigh. Oh, but
Abs.
calf and shin muscles. Yeah, but no, that's the only feature of this room. There's no sarcophagus in here.
Hmm.
Gunnar will go over and without touching, just like examine the greaves, just appreciate them.
Like I said, they are of hammered fey iron, blackened and tarnished from a previous age, with their leather belts perfectly broken in for a muscular athletics legs, once worn by a forgotten battle priest. In some way, they've come and end up here, sculpted in the fashion of calves in a perfect runner's physique.
And they're just sitting there.
Just sitting there.
Kind of like how the road were sitting up higher. Except we don't have sarcophagi in this room. The sarcophagi are outside the room.
Gunnar is going to reach out and pick one up.
One of the greaves.
Yeah.
Okay. There is an inscription on the inside of this leg plate here that reads, and in actually in the giant runes. You recognize the alphabet, but you do not understand what it actually says. Uh, but there is in fact a an inscription there.
Uh, Nothing else happens. No spirits show up. He's
Nope.
looking at the action from the necromancer.
He is not in the room with you.
Okay. Sneaky bastard coming up behind us.
Yep.
All right. Since nothing else happened, he'll collect the other one.
Okay.
And quality wise, is he familiar with the metal that you said?
Fey iron? Yeah. These are Fey iron is a silvery light metal that uh, well, your previous character Gree wouldn't understand would know that Fey iron is actually star metal, or star metal is actually Fey iron in a different part of the world. Um Oh, it's high quality metallurgy. Any smith that knows how to use it is kind of the equivalent of a WMD.
Oh, actually, yeah, I have a blacksmithing skill. So I can tell that
Hmm.
this is like much better than the goblin made ones that I have.
Absolutely.
All right. Can we wait a moment here.
Mm-hmm.
Gunnar will take off the goblin greaves and then work on fitting the new ones on.
Okay. Uh, with your athleticism and how I'm gonna say how shapely your legs would be as a hunter, a warrior of your tribe. They actually slide on nicely, and the leather is actually very comfortable against your skin. Uh, they're padded. I mean they just go on. It's like butter soft leather. It actually feels good to wear these things, but uh, when you slide them on and belt them both into place, uh, the greaves become cold and clinical to the touch, with a bedside manner more harsh and callous than gentle and soothing. The wearer's presence becomes more intimidating than approachable. Uh, your vitality is reduced by 6. You have a +6 bonus to your presence when it comes to dread. Uh, if you make an apothecary test in attempting to stop someone from bleeding, you can re-roll a failed uh, apothecary test to stabilize somebody, and you get a +4 bonus to your apothecary skill.
Oh my.
I will send these to you in
Thank you.
chat.
Because I was just enjoying the description. So if I currently don't have a apothecary skill, do I kind of develop it, or does it make sense now, or would I have to
Uh,
actually put some skill points in before
what
I would get?
what this does, uh, because uh, apothecary is a skill that you cannot use untrained. This the greaves, because they're cursed, kind of negate uh your unskilled penalty. And if you were to make an apothecary test, what you roll is what you get. You know, like don't get the bonus there. But as soon as you like take a couple grades in it, it becomes that +4 bonus.
Okay.
You you do feel that there was in fact a presence haunting these greaves, and uh in I'm gonna try and describe this like good cop bad cop kind of thing, but this is like good doctor bad doctor, and this is a bad doctor spirit. He is not here to make you feel good. It's like, okay, you're broken. Can it survive? No, euthanize it. If it can survive, I'll do what I can to help, but if you die, he dies.
A warrior doctor.
Not a night person. No. Yeah, a battle priest.
Battle. Yeah. Okay.
Battle priest and a battle cleric, or excuse me, a combat medic of some kind. It is definitely a male spirit, and he is very much there's no crying in the occult type of vibe that you get. You don't get to cry in battle either. But no, to Thurbon, when Gunnar puts these greaves on, there seems to be like a pall of his presence becomes more abrasive and unapproachable, dare you say intimidating. Uh Yeah, he has a dread presence, a +6 bonus to dread presence.
Hmm. This place is full of wonders, isn't it?
Indeed.
Or like half-heartedly, he'll actually he'll pat your bicep and be like, "Nike, you need a reason to be any more intimidating, though." Really?
These Greaves had an owner that was both a healer and a death dealer.
Huh.
I can feel it.
And these pillars that depict these various battles, that person was present for all 8 of those combats. That is beyond a shadow of a doubt.
So I'll even like go back to one of the pillars and say, this is him here.
Hmm.
You're not quite sure if he was an inquisitor or obviously he was a battle priest of some kind. He was an inquisitor, a, a, a healer, an executioner, or something with a powerful faith and knowledge of uh, medical skill, as well as an incredible force of death. Can deal death and stave it off.
Oh, on top of those, what is its damage suppress?
I believe Greaves are under further afield. Greaves are damage suppress 1, but they are the material bonus. Fey Iron
Should be
is
another +2.
uh Fey Iron damage suppress +2. So all told is you got a +3 right there.
And unfortunately, your goblin work greaves are going to be too big for my legs, so I can't swap mine out in the meantime.
I'm not going to get rid of them. I'll hang on to them. It might not be always to my advantage to wear these.
Mm.
There may come a time where I would need to take them off and put the other ones back on.
Okay. Nothing else in the room though. If we look around, I think you said it was
No,
pretty much just that.
you you basically have a disembodied uh just an invisible presence of like a cross between a cardinal and the Punisher in the room. But I mean, he is not going to bother you. If he was going to bother you, he'd have kicked the shit out of Gunnar by now and knocked his ass down that stairway. No, but
I
no,
got your Greaves.
yeah, right. He's like, you kind of get this like granddad like feeling. All right, you can have him. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, but
Yeah. So
um,
Bond will he'll walk back out to where the sarcophagi are and where he's assuming the necromancer's waiting.
yeah, he's he's milling about in this room, seemingly patiently, as patient as the dead can be. Really quite fucking patient, to be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
the witch fire glints off of the star metal greaves, somewhat attractively. You sport those athletically sculpted star metal armor plates like a fucking prince, Gunnar. I mean, those look fucking sharp, but like a fucking young Achilles. Uh, now you're the three of you are out here in the the room with the eight sarcophagi. That other archway with the sickening sinking feeling is the only other unexplored place, at least in
Does
this room.
Gunnar sense that as well?
Oh yeah, no. Uh, I actually have to advise you that that is a corrupted area before we go into it. Uh, but that is it is quite dark down there.
The bond,
Uh,
the bond will
Crushing, in
look,
fact.
right? The bond will look at the necromancer and he'll look down the hallway and be like, "Is that the only other choice we got?" 'Cause I don't like the feel of that one.
What is your goal? Simply
Get
to
out.
escape this place?
Yeah, we got. Well, I guess I should tell you a little bit about that. We got tossed down here by something, and the way that we came in at was drifted in, snow drifts, and we got the passageway open that you were in front of, and now we're here. So yes, we're just trying to get out. As fascinating as this place is, with who knows how many other treasures, uh, I have more important things to take care of.
Well, if you have pressing matters elsewhere, then I suggest you see to those. And he kind of looks off down that dark hallway and doesn't say anything. He's like watching it, like making sure nothing comes out of it,
Right.
or he's waiting for something to come out of it with the eerie patience of the dead.
He's actually gonna look down for a second with him, and then look over at this thing and what's down there that has you stopping? I thought the undead didn't have fear.
If my information is correct, that is the guardian of this floor that nests down in that pit. It's not fear that stays my hand, it's my patience for you to escape. If I am to do battle with it, it would do that you not be here. Unless you wish to assist me in slaying it.
Is there another way to get out? Because I have not seen one.
Well, Shaft, that's the only thing that I can consider, that I think of. Because you cannot come in the way that I came.
Kind of figured that. The bomb's gonna look back at Gunnar. Well, do we chance that chain or do we go into the breach, as they say?
What was he saying?
And he'll kind of regurgitate this. Basically, our only two ways out are either through here and he'll point to the necromancer, has to fight whatever is in there with or without our assistance, or we try to go up the chain above the well shaft.
Is he asking for our help?
He's not asking for the help. He's waiting to see what we're going to do. Either we leave and he deals with it, or we go into the breach with him and he hopefully deals with it.
And you called it a guardian?
He called it a guardian, yes. Apparently it's the guardian of this floor.
What is it?
He'll look to the necromancer. Do we even know what it is?
I do not.
No, we do not.
The two of you have a distinct disadvantage. He actually turns to both of you and steeples his fingers. Your disadvantage is that you are alive, and I cannot bring the two of you back yet.
What did he
And
say?
he says our disadvantage is that we're alive and he cannot bring us back yet.
Bring
Basically,
us back?
if we go down that hallway, we're probably going to die. Because I'm assuming even Gunnar can feel the corruption just seeping off that thing, and he'll actually bring up his hand. Like, you see these? That will happen to both of us more.
Oh, I understand. No, I would
Can you
change
can
chain.
you make it up that chain?
We can certainly try.
All right. I'll turn back to the necromancer. I feel it would be more hindrance than help. But I have to ask, and it's been nagging at me since I saw you in the other archway. Who are you? Because you seem really familiar.
Uh, he smiles, and if you've ever seen a corpse smile, it is fucking unsettling. Especially if he's got flesh still on his face that's half like fucking melted off. Uh, and he says, uh, "You may call me Greyhold. I am a necromancer."
I am Thraban. And this is Gunnar, and he'll point to Gunnar.
The necromancer actually gives Gunnar a very formal bow.
He'll return it.
Uh, Greyhold says in Feywise to Thraban, he is a human.
Yes.
What language does he speak?
Nemercian.
He simply says, "Ah," and he turns to Gunnar and says in a strange fairy accent, in Nemercian, he goes, My apologies. I did not know the language you spoke. We three can converse now.
Thank you.
So Bernard thinks he can make it up the chain. I believe if any person can make it up that chain, it probably is him.
But can you?
We'll see if he can make it first. Maybe he can throw something down for me.
If I understand the topography of this mountainside, we are on the eastern side of the Great Divide Mountains. Congratulations, gentlemen. You are now in the east. If you take that well shaft straight up, it should be the middle of the night, and there should be an abandoned village on this side. It should be still quite warm out. We're still low in the hills, in the foothills, I should say.
Beat the blizzard we came in from. Well, Greyhold? It was Greyhold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Greyhold. Hopefully you find what you're looking for.
There's a very powerful book of necromancy in this catacomb somewhere. He actually draws the great fairy sword on his hip and stands in the doorway, going actually looking down that hallway, and the sword, the blade, immolates there with a purple fire that illuminates this place rather intimidatingly. And he says, the two of you, be off with you. It might become quite unpleasant down here. He says this with a no small amount of urgency.
Okay. Well, hopefully we meet again. As
Hopefully.
sad as sad as that may sound, but
You are after the sorcerer called Endukaga, I am assuming?
yes, we are.
Ah, be off with you. He has a stronger presence in the east than he does in the west.
If you come across the henge, try to destroy it. And with that, Thurban will turn and let Greyhold do his business.
As that you guys, this your party essentially splits up. Uh, you guys had a 6th level necromancer in the party for a short time.
Right, there you
Um,
go.
he
Did you see that
Greyhold can dish
sword?
out some piss pound. What's that?
I said to him, "Did you see that sword?"
Mm-hmm.
Then the two of you split up, and you Gunnar, you're at the end of this hallway. You kind of steal a look back as that purple light kind of disappears into the darkness, and you feel a a tremor in the earth, and that is your cue to leave. Uh,
Back down the hallway with the coffins.
Yep.
you uh, you guys beat fate with a cautious haste. Uh, your lantern, the oil lantern, flares to life, uh, like like a small sun in the darkness. Initially, it hurts your eyes for a few moments. You retrace your steps, uh, back down the the left, the S curve that slowly goes up, loops back around, and you find yourself in the uh the well room there, and you apprehensively turn and back down that hallway, and you hear a faint something. You don't know what that sound was, but you did not like it, and it gives you a no small amount of impetus to get up that chain. Uh, you can use uh Thurbon, you can use your stave to kind of hook the chain to bring it to you. Uh how how do you wish to proceed? What are we doing? What are we thinking? What is our escape plan? This is your scene. You guys can narrate it however you wish.
I guess the first thing that Gadara would do is grabbing a hold of the chain, set the lamp down, and then do some test pulls on it just to see if it's not going to completely give way.
Mike, what are you doing?
Um, well, Thaban will hook the chain, and when Gunnar actually puts down the lamp, he'll actually pick it up. That way, it doesn't get forgotten. And he'll kind of, like I said, he'll hold the chain for Gunnar to test out, and then look at Gunnar and be like, I don't know if I can climb that thing. Does it seem sturdy enough?
When you jerk the chain downwards, uh, your stomach drops as the chain comes down, like it like maybe like there's like there was like a pile of it up at the top, and it came loose, and a bunch of it came down, and there was this thickening, grinding, that sinking feeling of we're fucking trapped down here. See, just rushes you for a few moments, and then Gunnar, you're holding it goes slack, and it you have a loop in your hand, and you're like, oh, oh, you thought you were fucked for a moment, and then you kind of bring the rest of that, you dangle that slack down, and then you pull, jerk, jerk, and then you lean down on your knees, full body weight there, and you're kind of like leaning safely back into the room so you don't fall the fuck down this shaft. Fool of a Took, tell us all the goblins in Moria where we are, please. Thank you. Uh, and it doesn't come. It is held fast, topside. You're pretty sure this is good fucking news.
At this point, I've got to go up and see what there is to see, and then we can adjust from there.
Okay. If you get up there and I like wrap this thing around me, could you just pull me up?
Maybe. Depends on what kind of leverage is up there.
All
The
right.
fads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start climbing a little bit.
Make me an athletics test.
Now, explain to me again, how does the chain itself actually look? Is it just like your normal, just like links?
Yeah. They're rectangular links.
Okay.
Kind of a jagged diamond pattern, if you will.
Right. And just like your standard size, are not like overly big or
Oh
really
no,
tight or
they're not
anything.
like the mooring ropes of the Titanic or anything like you could
Yeah.
sit in. No, 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 no. They're like like a couple inches long
Yeah.
chain link.
Okay.
Okay. So athletic, I have a level 2.
Mm-hmm.
My physique is a +4.
Mm-hmm.
So my level modifier gives me a +1. And then I also have a +1 forte in athletics.
Ooh.
So,
Plus one bonus. Yeah, there you go.
so I have a total of +6.
There you go. Do it.
And that explodes. That's
Yes.
11 plus 6, 17.
Nice. No, you it's for you, it is an easy climb. You're climbing for some while, and it gets progressively colder the farther you ascend. Uh, for Thurbon, there seems to be a sense of loneliness and uh like, oh fuck, he's gone. Now I'm alone down here. Um, as another sound is made from down that hallway that you can't identify well enough for your own comfort level. Gunnar, you climb for some time, hand over hand. Uh, you don't think you're going to make it, but the iron thews of your hands, shoulders, and forearms keep you going, and you finally, after what seems like an eternity, find yourself uh, at the top of this well. You climb over the railing there, and you fall into, thank all of the gods, grass.
Hmm.
Something you have not felt for some while, and you look up and you see the starry night sky with a few clouds scudding across the sky there. It's kind of a chilly wind, but it's relatively warm out.
But it's fresh wind.
Yes, you yawn. You're metabolizing fresh air, and you want to take a nap now.
Okay. So what kind of apparatus is this chain attached to?
Looks like a crank. Uh, kind of a wheel spool, kind of a wheelhouse. There's a crank there that you can basically turn to coil up the chain.
I'm gonna just do like a test crank. How heavy does this seem?
Uh, this seems pretty heavy duty. You begin to consider like what the size of the bucket at the bottom of this chain might be. Uh, but hey, it could be like the basket of a hot air balloon. You don't know, but with the heaviness of the gauge of the chain, it seems pretty massive. Uh, it would normally take maybe two regular people to turn this crank, as there are two handles on either side. But you yourself, well, you are not a regular person.
Okay. Without before I do anything else, now I'm going to turn my attention to the outside world and once again just like stop breathing, concentrate, focus, and see if I can make out any noises or presence around me.
Besides the nighttime forest and the wind in the pine trees, not much.
Yeah, between awareness and danger sense, I'm just gonna try to listen.
Okay. Make me an awareness test.
Yes. 11 plus 7, 18.
No, you don't really hear anything. You hear the hoot of an owl,
Okay.
but it's quite beautiful, quite uh peaceful up here.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go over to the handle and I'm gonna start winding up and seeing like what kind of speed I can do this at.
You get the feeling that if you went at a pretty good clip, you could harvest Thurbon from the tier beneath you.
Okay. I'm gonna start cranking it up and without like yelling and making a lot of noise for him below. I'm hoping that if he sees a bucket start coming up, he'll get the idea of what's happening.
So, several hundred feet beneath us in the back down in the dungeon, Thraban, the chain begins moving with a rather disgusting scraping, clinking sound, and
He's kind of used to
some
disgusting by now, so
right, some half hour later, 30 minutes of this cranking, a massive bucket appears.
does it look like there's anything in said bucket besides water?
A bunch of pale, blind fishes,
Fishes,
like 8 of them.
blind fishes.
Yeah,
Like no, like this is like actually like him like blind fishes.
yeah.
What the hell? Uh, fuck,
Fishes that live their entire life in a lightless world.
right? Well,
They
he's
don't
never
need
seen one of those.
eyeballs. Yeah, right?
He's just saying
You're
fucking
not sure how deep this shaft goes now. You're like, does this now go into the underworld?
right. Fuck.
Holy shit!
Okay. Now keep in mind, this is why this thing's going up slowly. I know. How big do these things look? If there's 8 of them in
Oh,
this massive bucket.
oh, they're about the size of a northern.
All right. Um, can I see the bottom of the bucket yet?
Of
Like how
course, you can see the bottom of the bucket.
well, like how deep is this thing? Like
Enough for you to stand in.
okay, so I don't have to paddle the whole time. Okay.
No, 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 no.
I was
Your
half
feet,
I was half expecting it. Okay.
and it's not like a I almost said it's not like a bathtub, but technically it is like a big bathtub,
Yeah.
like with the size of the chain and what would actually be used for. Yeah, no, you can
Just,
stand in this, and it would basically be like hip deep for you. That's how big this thing is.
all right. Yeah. What's it going to take for Taban to get into it?
Just step in,
Okay.
sploosh.
All right. Yeah. As it gets about that height, yeah, he'll jump in.
You scare the shit out of the fish, and 2 of them like jump out.
Oh, that was dinner.
Slosh, like out of there. Like there's a big ass fish, like the size of a fucking barracuda, if they're freshwater barracuda, just whoop down back into the drink.
Yeah, that's not fucking terrifying at all.
Some wee crazy how somewhere beneath you in the bowels of the fucking earth. You're not sure if these are real fish because they're so pale and pearlescent. Is you're holding up uh the oil lamp, which is now like the brightness of a small sun,
Mm-hmm.
with these pearlescent freshwater barracudas who are equipped with mouths full of teeth and such like, but it's a northern, so it just hisses angrily at you, and unless you piss it off, it's not actually going to bite you. Uh,
Right.
um, so no, you're in this, and Gunnar, I need you to make me another uh athletics test.
And Godard can feel like the weight shift, like, okay, he must
Oh
have.
yeah, yeah. You're lifting a considerable amount of water. Not saying that Thurban is fucking huge or anything, but he's an adult man. He's also heavy, but there may or may not be other things sloshing in there. But make me another athletics test, and please don't let go of that handle.
I mean, it's also just saying the fact of this thing is probably a good couple 100-gallon capacity.
And we're gonna say it's about half full.
Yeah, and water is 8 pounds a gallon.
Yep.
I got a
Uh,
14.
oh fuck yeah. So no, you crank it and you're cranking it, and your arms are like, fuck, this is arm day. This is arm week. Holy
I hope
shit,
I
this is arm month.
I hope I don't have to fight after this because shit.
And you get it, you get in about three-fourths of the way up there, and you're like, you're struggling. Oh my God, you're wobbling like a baby deer. Oh,
Can I engage red mist in a non-combat situation?
ah, uh, rules as written, no.
Oh,
But you're like, son of a bitch, this would be awesome. No, you're wobble, and Saban, you're down in this bucket with two less fish, and these fish are just kind of like, we're trying to like not be touching each other. The we're gonna say
Mhm.
the seven of you in this bucket, and it's pissing the fish off, sloshing all over the damn place. But I mean, they're pretty fish. I mean, but they're blind. They're pearlescent and somewhat rainbow, but they're blind, and their faces are disgusting and toothy. Um, but you hear the wind in the pine trees maybe a few yards above you, and the chain starts to get really slow, and that panic starts to set in. And you yeah, no, and the grunting, you hear the grunting, and you get, and it's slowly, and now it starts to come be like a jostling type of thing, because it's like, oh, over that peak, down, oh, over that peak and down again, and you're like, and Gunnar,
Gunnar, I'm bringing dinner if you get me up there.
oh, oh, uh, now,
I got some big old fishies in here. I'm sure they're good eating.
uh, and yeah, no, does that spur him on? Does it?
Motivation by fresh food.
Godard is just so like locked into, he doesn't even hear, it doesn't register.
Fuck
He's
everything
just,
right now.
yeah, it's just up and down and up and down. And that's all, it's all mechanical at this point. He's just a
Just
machine.
thinking of busty fey noble women trying to just fucking, there is a harem in
That's,
that bucket waiting to come up here, and I gotta get these girls topside. No, or ogresses with wide hips. We don't fucking know. Uh, and I need another athletics test just to just get the fuck. And Thurban, it's getting slower. You're not descending, but
It's
now
jostled.
it's fucking terrifying now.
Out of curiosity, at any time when I was coming up, if I looked down, did anything change in that room?
No,
Like, did I see like shit like shaking from the tremors?
no,
Okay. Half expecting a wall of corruption to come flood it.
nope. Not that you can
Ganar,
sense it.
Ganar got a total of 26.
Oh,
Nice.
there you go.
So you're like, oh, you're powering through it. And then
Food and ass. Food and ass. Food and ass. Food and ass.
These mental images come into your mind, and like you're blocking everything out, and you get like you look over, like sweat is just fucking beating. Oh, like the breeze from the foothills feels amazing on you, and with the sweat pouring off, and you kind of see out of the corner of your eye, like, oh fuck, and you see Thurbond there, stoked like a drowned rat, and holding this lantern, and you see these pearlescent fishes, and you get them in there. They're ugly toothed things. They're like 2.5 feet long, nice big fat things. Um, Once you get it up there, and it locks, it seems like it locks into place up there, and uh, there's a kind of a kind of like a cut out of the wall there where Turbon can actually step up and out onto solid ground. And when he does, the whole chain apparatus creaks and one of the struts busts, and just dead silence as you're both like, your assholes pucker, like, wait, what do we do? Uh,
So is he safely out of?
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Right.
he's like on all fours going, oh my, yes,
He is kissing the dirt.
Yeah,
yes.
Gunnar is just falling backwards away from it. Just- we need we need to sleep here. You need to feed me,
Uh,
and we need to sleep.
yeah, that sounds good. Um, is there anything? Is there anything around to catch the fish in,
Not really.
like hooks or nets or anything?
Nope.
No.
Get your hand in there.
Right.
Grab a gill. Grab a gill flap.
Right. I mean,
But
Gennaro is all about that motion, doesn't he?
you're right.
He could probably catch four of these things by himself.
Ah. Gunnar knows that trick with your finger. Of course he does.
Yes, he does.
If he doesn't, I'd be
I would be shocked.
surprised.
Absolutely sure. No, you guys, for now, you guys, uh, pitch camp and light you guys a fire, and I'm gonna say you
Well,
guys can clean the fish.
rather than camp it on the dirt, was there a house or hut or domicile down? Because Greyhold mentioned this was supposed to be an abandoned village.
Uh, doesn't seem like there is much of anything. It looks like this village possibly had burnt to the ground some time previously. So any other structures besides like the well house, the well hut here is kind of burnt to a
Non-existent.
skeleton.
Okay. Yeah, no, we'll park it right here then. Yeah, pretty sure Thurban has the higher wild lore and like higher provisioning, so he's probably best to get the fish out and
Cut and clean the fish, or gut and clean the fish.
prepare them properly. Yeah.
This uh the well seems like it is cut in to kind of like this half opened cave that uh kind of like kind of like a fissure in the mountainside, if you will. That's kind of like half covered by earth. There is a lean-to. It's kind of a thatched roof there, but excuse me there. But currently it's sometime in the middle of the night. You guys are out of the wind. You're not fully exposed to anything, and it seems partially clear skies.
Needless to say, so Bond will probably strip down to damn near naked so he can dry off his clothes.
Right. Okay.
Gunnar can at least make the fire, but
Right.
I'm spent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Food and ass. Food and ass. Here we go. uh,
I'm assuming the water's clean, considering there were fish swimming in it.
uh, unless you shit yourself out of terror in coming in your ascent. No, the water is pretty damn clean.
No, I don't think he got that far.
Oh no, it was scary. It was not that scary.
Yeah.
Um,
His asshole
but
tightened up really good, but yeah, he didn't actually excavate anything.
all right. No. You guys can refill your water skins from here too. There's actually quite a bit of water here. Um, now that you're in partial moonlight, uh, it looks like a half of vat that is like cut with the top half cut off. That's kind of rigged up with uh chains and an enormous loop. Uh, kind of a cross section there with one chain that kind of like allows it to ascend and descend. And with one load is couple hundred uh gallons here that could supply an entire village uh with water, at least I mean for like a day or so. But they may or may not have known that this complex was beneath them or what have you. So uh no, the night passes uh quite peacefully here. Congratulations, you guys have successfully escaped the dungeon Forsaken. How do you guys wish to proceed the following morning?
I'm actually gonna look at Dinar's. Do you actually just want to stay here for a day so we can dry the fish, get our
Um,
bearings, and actually get our strength back? Because we were down there for a while.
you know, I I could see us spending a day here if I can be up and you can rest. You've been through as much as I have, so
Yeah,
yes.
I think a day of proper rest out in the open and not down in that tomb is going to do us good. And then, like I said,
Not around.
we got what, 5 of these big ass fish that we can dry and have for provisions. Be a little different from the nuts and berries we've had to subsist on.
Yes, I say we stay and rest and then leave. Plan on leaving early in the morning.
Okay, so yeah, we'll probably spend the day preserving and drying what we can, refilling water skins.
Collecting firewood, maybe just exploring a little bit farther out.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably at some point we probably will just like walk through the ruins. But
You guys role play amongst yourselves. I'm gonna hit the bathroom quick.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get a drink of water then.
Back.
Yep. I think he's still getting a drink.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, so it'll be mostly, I think, a day of downtime. Um, I unfortunately can't make any poultices or bandages or anything because I don't have the proper equipment.
No.
But I will still, yeah, still look through the ruins, see if there's anything worth poking through. Also, just helps kind of pass the day because I'm assuming drying that many fish is probably going to take most of the day.
At least a day.
Yeah.
If you smoke them, that'll be all the better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's smoke and or preserve. Yeah. Figure we can smoke probably most of it, eat some more fresh tonight, and finish it off, and then call it good.
Yes. Was there anything discernible about the ruins, or were they like destroyed a long time ago? I mean, can we even make out it was a village or what?
Yeah, you can make out it was a village. Maybe for maybe a dozen or so cycles, it had been uh abandoned, really. It looks like it burnt down. Uh, most of it had burnt down some time ago. Uh, so nature is almost entirely kind of reclaiming it. Like, you can tell that there are some semi-permanent structures here, like the front wall uh of flagstone Kirk style buildings, earthen mounds, that kind of thing up on the mountainside. But beyond that, it's quite a bit of brush.
Easy to find, like firewood, dry enough wood that I could.
Oh, easy, effortlessly.
Okay.
You can even find someone's storage shed that possibly wasn't burnt down in one of the fires and steal some of their dried firewood.
Hmm.
They haven't been using it for quite a while, so take it.
Right.
Not a grand
Okay.
heist, but it's doable.
Well, as we're poking around, when we decide that we're going to head back, then I'll raid the shed for a big old armload of firewood.
Okay. Do you guys bed down then, or what do you do?
Well, I would say that as long as we have this wood, let's build up a fire. Not only will it help to dry the fish, but if Devon has any more wet clothes or anything, it would certainly dry them out any faster.
And if Godard didn't know how to, the bomb would also show him like the procedure of making sure the fish are smoked or dried, flipping them over, moving them away from the fire, whatnot.
Yeah.
So we can essentially do it through the night if we're keeping watch, which I assume we are.
Um, so metagaming here. Do you have any like sleep requirements to recharge, or are you recharged, or
So for both your health and your spell points, it's just a per day thing.
Mhm.
When you get actual rest, you just regain them per day. So I'm full back up.
okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, yeah, then I would say we you know, take turns keeping watch and
We'll leave with
so whenever
leave with the dawn in the morning.
yeah.
Okay.
As long as Mr. Narrator doesn't have anything to disrupt it.
Right? Oh man,
This
that's
fucking narrator over here.
shit. You know, I like to disrupt everyone's peaceful sleep.
Mhm.
Uh
Miss Ghosthead with the long tongue follows all the way up the well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you, honey. Sorry, thank you. No, ma'am. Give us a kiss. No, no. Excuse us. No. Who takes first watch?
I can.
Okay. So, uh, Gnar, you go to sleep. And,
like like a log.
oh, yeah, right.
Right?
And,
Son of a
uh,
bitch.
thought like in seconds, he's, oh, Jesus, he is sawing Z's like a radial arm saw. Oh, yeah.
Like we already got the firewood. You don't need to cut anything else. Okay, it's okay.
God damn. Meow. Yeah, right. Sawing it. Uh, you go to sleep and like this, you sleep the sleep of the dead. It is full of ogress women with hourglass figures.
Aphrodite
Oh,
would be jealous.
yeah,
And normal sized
and normal size what?
tongues.
Tongues.
Right. They are well endowed, not in the tongue department. They are healthily tongued. I said what I said. Shut the fuck up. Now,
The fact that had to even be a statement now was hilarious. What size is your
normally,
tongue? Is it normal? Okay, we're fine then.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Hey, can she lick her eyebrow? Can she lick me from across the room?
Remind Gennard to not go meet a Gorgon then.
No, 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 no. Yes, yes. Anyway, so, uh, curves and ogresses and sleep, Sanzis and the lands of Morpheus for Ganar are a paradise of buxom women. So, uh,
And
in
drinking.
and oh my God, and browsing like a Dionysiad, yes. Uh, now your companion, here in the waking world, uh, is treated to the peaceful sounds of a nighttime pine forest in the foothills, excuse me, the upper foothills of a mountain range. You get with the campfire light as well as the lamp light, which is not the burning sun that it is, just a comfortable uh, light that bathes the area in kind of a golden amber. The flame of the lamp is a slightly different shade of amber as opposed to the natural flame, and it finally dawns upon you. You what the color was, and now obviously before it was not a normal lamp. and now it's obvious that it is not a normal lamp. Uh, you are there, staring into the flames, enjoying the peacefulness there, and the woodland calls to your fairy blood as at this moment in time, you could unconsciously see yourself drifting into a meditative trance. That's up to you. Um, but the darkness seems very far away here. The night, I suppose the night passes uneventfully. Uh, and you, Thurbon, go to sleep. Gunnar, you awaken from your dreamed paradise, maybe begrudgingly because that dream was awesome. Uh, Back here in the waking world, you rouse yourself. And like I said before, it's quite obvious that the flame of the lamp is not a natural or normal flame. It is more golden and or amber colored as opposed to the red orange of a natural fire. Uh, and you are awake peacefully so. Uh, in the chilly autumn mountain air as you are treated to the gorgeous sunrise that is the eastern view of the of Arklanar's Rim. Uh, the first blush of dawn comes gradually brightening until Zabraxian peeks over his burning eye, peeks over the rim of the world again, now bathing the east in that blazing light. How do you wish to proceed?
Well, I will wake Thryburn up and build up the fire a little bit so that we can have a bite to eat before we break camp.
You arouse your companion. You guys enjoy your breakfast. You break camp and you see yourselves out on the way. Out on the road, excuse me. Uh, Sometime that morning after sunrise, uh, perhaps it is just before the hour of 9 in the morning. You emerge from this cleft into the dazzling sunlight of the east. Uh, Zabraxian's gaze greets you warmly as the cold of the crypt behind you fades away and the warmth and light of the morning envelops you. You are also greeted at this time by the cacophony of arms and the sounds of battle. Uh, and Gunnar immediately gets an erection. Excuse me. Uh, Sword and axe on shield, the roar and bellows in the air. Your immediate surroundings are an upper cleft of an escarpment looming above a jagged decline that goes in jagged decline into a lower vale, a sandy wooded area not so dense with trees to obscure the the events of the scene below, but enough to add a splash of verdure to the earthen and rocky environment. It seems that two clans of goblins are at war, and phalanxes of each are mustered against one another. seemingly the greens versus the grays, according to their dress. Greens versus the grays. Prodigious toad-like hulks with painted hides done up in variegated patterns depicted in some fashion of war paint cover a number of both on either side of the field. Tusks gleaming from upper and lower lips, filed or natural, or filed or left natural for the combat ahead. Bristled manes tied up or slicked back for martial advantage with yellowed eyes gleaming at their foe. The melee has likely gone on, was likely joined in the last hour before you it basically emerged from your encampment, and uh, and the fighting is still hot and chaotic. War horns are sounded, and archers are placed in locations of advantage here. One scene catches your eye. A leather-clad green warrior with a broad-bladed axe of hammered bronze disembowels an opponent underneath a fold of his foeman's mail coat, spilling the other's guts into the sandy earth like one dumps a basket of sausages onto the ground. A gray warrior with tusks bared, bites into the back of the head of another, excuse me, into their head, driving the tusks deep enough into one of these eye sockets, making the eye burst as his enemy dies in his jaws. The hottest of the fighting is joined in the center, where broad-chested and well-disciplined younger fighters press against each other in a shield wall, while more experienced fighters with long weapons plunge into open gaps on either side. The shield wall at this time is 3 rows deep on either side. Uh, Within moments, warriors may be crushed to death in the struggle to gain advantage in the shield wall press. You see no mounts are seen here, only heavily armed infantry and berserking warriors leap into each other's midst. You can see hawkers being used in battle here. Goblin falconers uh, wielding and directing raptors of all kinds to disrupt shamans and sorcerers on the other side, who call upon powers attempting to subdue or conquer their opposing side. Screams and cries of command and the dying split the air and throw up prayers to the ancestors and other spirits in pleas for aid. In many moments, many lay injured or dying due to the ferocity of the fighting. Some attempting to gather their entrails, others searching for lost limbs while holding blooded stumps, while others expire too quickly for preserving thought or prayer. That is the scene that unfolds before you.
Since it's goblins, I have no interest in seeing this through one way or the other. They could destroy each other for all I care.
Well, you're the war god, he says with a chuckle.
They seem to be doing fine without my help. Let them play. About how many are left total? I mean, just kind of eyeballing the field.
It seemed like initially when you guys looked upon the fighting as maybe like an even 150 uh per side. Uh this is a moderately sized skirmish, if you will. Uh Not saying, well, obviously a pitched battle, a battle with a capital B, to use your words, Terry. But what's left, oh my God, within a few minutes of the initial fighting, they're probably down to about half of that. They fight so ferociously. The shield wall press is still banging knuckles, if you will.
Do you want to watch this? I certainly don't want to be seen. There's still quite a large number of enemy.
No, honestly, this is your wheelhouse. If you want to watch it, take notes or whatever. I don't know if you have to do that or not, but I don't think it truly concerns us or what we need to get done. It is fascinating, though, how ferocious they are.
I certainly have never seen it from this perspective. Well, if we're going to leave, we should leave sooner while they're still engaged with each other. Less likely to notice us.
Okay, then. What else do we have around to
Well,
kind of just make a path and go with it?
Uh, there really is no formal road. You probably could find a game trail and just slip away that way, or you just make tracks. It's up to you.
where's our next destination?
The Ebon Vale, which is to the east.
Do we need to proceed eastward? Do we need to skirt this battle, or is it off in a different direction?
Uh, Going east, due east, you will have to will have to skirt the fight, the battle. Yes.
All right, let's go around.
Make me stealth tests, gentlemen.
Especially because we don't quite know exactly where we are in the world. We just know we're
Not
on the
exactly.
east side.
Thank you, Greyhold. At least give us some orientation.
All right.
20.
20? Yeah. No, you slip the fuck away, man. Like a forest ninja. Hey, Thurban, do you have grades in stealth at all?
No.
Oh, well, I guess fucking he gets us all caught and we all die. Uh Shit. How do you
It's, I
well,
don't because I don't think stealth is can stealth be used untrained? I can't remember.
stand by. Uh Stealth can be used untrained with a -4 penalty.
Okay, then I got a 14.
Okay. No, you both, well, Gunnar is pretty damn sure he disappeared. He's essentially invisible, but uh Serban, you're pretty confident that you slipped by, and the goblins obviously are not looking for two non-goblins. They're pretty concerned about the host that's mustered up against them uh
Hmm.
in the opposite side of the veil. So um you guys are pretty confident that you slipped away. uh down into the hills, maybe a couple hours of cross country downhill, just skirting through, trying to avoid anything that would see you, animal, vegetable, or mineral. Uh, you guys would find yourselves down uh on the grassland plains beneath the mountains somewhere in the east. Uh, and it's just prairie for as far as the eye can see. It's like I can only describe this because I've seen it before. Looking east from the Rocky Mountains in Montana, just hills. I mean, it's pretty, but that's about all.
Yeah, so once we're clear of everything, the bond will try to stay as close to like dead center due east as he can until we find something to use as a landmark.
For now, just keep those mountains behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Because either we'll hit the water and have to change direction, or we'll find a settlement, hopefully.
or a river and then follow a river because there will be
Mm-hmm.
a settlement somewhere.
You're right.
But no, with that, I think we will close the session here. Gunnar, would you give us closing soliloquies here? Uh, you've escaped the dungeon known as Forsaken, and now you're back under the gaze of Zabraxian. Take us away, brother.
First and foremost, that's what's in his mind is how relieved he is to be back out in the open where God's intended us. The the peaceful night that we had, and just being able to explore with what felt like relatively safety, was just invigorating to him, as much as the good sleep that he got. Um, and so now he's starting to feel back to himself, especially after the realization that he spent those, few nights guarding Febrin, and then realizing that all these spirits were around him that whole time without him, being able to see him. That that was pretty disconcerting. So this is just on top of it. It's just such a relief to be out. So back into the mission with his shiny new greaves. Excited to get into the taste of battle and destroy these henges as we are put to task. So he's feeling he's in a good place.
Thurban, take us away.
Uh, Saban is just happy to be back out in the open, away from that disgusting, sickening feeling. Um, Part of him is wondering how Greyhold is holding up, or if he even still is. Because yeah, he was undead, well, at least as far as you could tell, undead, and a necromancer, which normally would be essentially a kill on sight, you know, verboten type thing to have to deal with. So to find one that didn't want to kill him immediately or even cause him harm was both intriguing and disconcerting all at the same time, if that makes sense. As well as the fact of that man knew who they were trying to go after when he didn't say anything about it. Um, but at the moment, he's just happy to be going toward his goal again. Hoping that they can find something to point them in a more specific direction than just head east. And yeah, he's probably next time they rest, he's going to try reaching out to the Astromancer. May even try reaching out to Greyhold, see if it stretches that far or not. And he's just hoping they don't run into any more huge hiccups for the next little bit, because he's wasted too much time.
And that we will bring our session to a close. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week for the next portion of this adventure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good night.